Okay, so now we're going to take a look at adding some content into your Google Classroom. So I'm on my main dashboard screen where I would see all of the classes that I'm teaching this year, and I'm going to use my Google Classroom Professional Learning to do the demo. So now what we've come into, this is what students are going to see when they enter your Google Classroom. This is our stream, and what it's going to contain is a chronological updating of your announcements, and depending on how you've set your settings, perhaps your classwork as well. So it's up to you, as we mentioned in the module previous, it's up to you how you set that up. So I'm going to go into classwork because I would like to post something for my students now. In true Google form, the screen is really clean, there's a lot of white space, and things are simplified. At times, Google almost oversimplifies things, but I do like their clean look and their consistency. So I'm going to click on Create, and earlier versions of Google Classroom only had assignments. Now we have a number of choices in here, including an assignment, and I can attach things onto the assignment. I can give a quiz. I could pose a question for feedback, or a knowledge question, or a survey type question. I could post a material, so that could be a website I want the kids to use for a particular project, or it might be a rubric, or it might be an instruction package. It's nothing I would be grading. If I post something as an assignment, I can assign points to it and I can grade within Google Classroom and return marks to students within Google Classroom. I can also choose for it to be ungraded if I choose an assignment. So those are kind of the four initial ones, but then they've added this one called Reuse Post. And if I click on that, it's going to bring up every Google Classroom that I've ever had, and I can go into any of them and retrieve a post. So once you've typed everything out one time, in years going forward, you can resuscitate those with a click of a button. So I'm going to create a material. And so I've got a space here for the title. So I can say a website to use for your research. And when you are working on your research project, please use the following websites only, or I could say please make sure to include these. I could attach a link of any type. I could attach something from my Google Drive. I could attach a YouTube link. I can do all of these things. Now for this one, because I'm wanting to give them a link, I'll maybe open another tab here, and I'm going to just do a quick search for astronomy. And I will provide my students with this particular website, astronomy.com, that I would like them to use for their research. So I'm just going to add that link, and it will place it on there for my kids to use. And then at any point, I can hit post. I can edit it later. So I'm just going to hit post. And now on my classwork, I've got this website to use for your research. Now, obviously, if I was doing this for my science class or my English class, I'd be a little more specific in the title to assist kids with finding what they're looking for. So that's the basics of posting to your classroom. Now, short of using topics, it is going to come into your classwork page in chronological order with the newest stuff always going on top. So let's do an assignment. So this is your astronomy research project. And I'm going to put that in this classroom. Now, if I was assigning it to a couple classes, I could click in and I could check off two of them, and I could have it assigned to both those classes. When I was teaching, I had 7 sections of grade 7. So I would draw up the assignment one time, assign it to all 7 classes, and then I would go in and I would adjust the due date depending on which class, because of course, as we know, they don't always fall in equal increments. So you can assign it to more than one class. You can select which students you wish to be. And we will cover this in greater detail a little further on. Super way to differentiate your assignments. I can give all my instructions here. Again, I can attach many things. I can select my points. So I can either have it be an ungraded formative assignment, or I could put it for however many points it would be worth according to my rubric. I can set the due date. So let's grab a calendar here and let's set the due date out into October the 1st. And I've also got the ability to schedule when it posts. So if I didn't want this to go on quite yet, if I wanted this to go on around the middle of September, I could set up, let's have this post on September 16th at 8 o'clock in the morning, so it's ready to go for my teaching that day. I'm not going to do this for that example, but just so you know, you can do that. And then if you wish to sort by topics, you can create topics. And there's lots of different ways to do that. And we will cover that in a further module too. So this is just your basics of how to post some things for your students. And so you can even see here that it's appearing above my earlier post. It's showing as a draft. And when I hit assign, so let's go details here and let's click on assign. And now that's going to add that onto my Google Classroom for my students. And now we see on this one that it has a due date. If we go back to the stream, as we get close, that's going to show up on upcoming. Because I've set it far enough out in October, it's not going to alert kids about that yet. It's too far away on the due date. But when that starts to get closer, they will see it on the upcoming. So that's just a quick little run through of how to add some things into your Google Classroom. Thanks for watching.